And this is it. Here we go. The final race of the championship. 2 races here in this final round. Japanese Grand Prix. 40 seconds left to go. Let's take a look at that grid standings. So it's Mads on pole position, followed by Mike Van Doren, Andy Rees, Marlon Young, Martin Webster, Anderson Baiano, and Danny Nasir. 25 seconds left to go. What a journey it's been throughout this GT4 International Championship. It all comes down to this double points on the line. Huge to see who will take the top of the timing sheets. 10 seconds here as we get this one underway. Here we go, waiting for the lights, and there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 5 lights.
I'm not seeing the lights on my screen.
And we go racing. Danny Nasir already having an issue on the start there, and we get underway now. Mads gets a great start there, followed by Van Doren. Andy Rees there in the background, already getting overtaken there by, is that Marlon Young? They're side by side. They play mind games and qualifying, and they're already getting this battle underway. But Mads there as they go side by side. Is Mads gonna push Van Doren off the racing track? Almost, but not quite. So we look behind Mads here as they get through the forest section now. And Andy was able to get through on Marlon Young, but a mistake from Van Doren in the McLaren is going to allow the Mercedes of Andy Rees to follow right through. It's a Danish 1-2. Exactly what they want for this championship as well, especially for the constructors. That's what's most important to them. But Van Doren is not going to come out without a fight. And this is going to be a good fight towards the very end. There they go. The BMW is going to try to check out as soon as possible. And these two are going to have a hellacious battle as they get onto the front straight now. SUGO on the front straight, so iconic at this part of the track. And you're going to see why in the slipstream. Is he going to pull to the inside or outside? Pick your poison, Van Doren goes to the outside. The double right-hander coming up next. Andy's got the preferred line. But can Van Doren swoop it around the outside? Andy fighting with all his might. 2 championship contenders. You're looking on your screens. Van Doren's going to have the inside line. Looks like a bit of contact. They stay side by side onto the inside now. Here comes Van Doren. Does he have enough to hold on to the move? Still going side by side. Van Doren takes it. What a move from the Dutchman to hold off this position. Andy Rees in the Mercedes, not quite done with this fight yet. Going to the inside here. It looks like has he have a better run there than Van Doren. Slipstream enabled. Van Doren so strong in the middle sector. First sector, that McLaren very dominant. Middle and the last sector, it's kind of an even game. Between this front pack here. Don't forget, Marlon Young very much in this fight. Now, remember, here's the thing with SUGO. It's this corner up here. How much do you save your tires to be able to go up 110R? It's a tire eater. And looks like Andy Rees has got a bit of a better line than Van Doren. And he's going to need all the slipstream in the world to gain. Van Doren, as he's in P2. Matt's going to take the fastest lap at 125, 193. Bonus 2 points if he can get that and hold that pole position. Sliding there on corner exit for Andy Rees. Marlon Young's going to follow the exact same line. That's something that you don't want to do. You got to break that curse there. You can't be following what the driver does up ahead, because if he goes off track, you can't be following him off. So losing a little bit of time. Meanwhile, though, Van Doren not able to escape as far as he could. Remember, the track limit's very, very strict around here, so they're going to have to play nice to not get a time penalty. As they head onto the back straight, Van Doren is going to use a lot of that track extension. But they're going to have to keep very much in mind of the track limits. That's going to be very important. Heading out Sector 2, heading into Sector 3. And we are just 21 minutes left to go of this race. So much action to go underway as we see Andy losing just a tad bit of time there. And now as we head into 110R once more and then transitioning into the final corner, looks like the McLaren is able to just about get away for the time being. However, the gap is still 6/10. There you see them passing under the Dunlop Bridge as Mads is going to put another fastest lap of a 1:24.720. Here comes Andy. Now remember, he made a huge slide in the last lap, and he looks a lot more cleaner. Meanwhile, oh, Marlon Young has made a couple of mistakes on this lap, and the Brazilian of Anderson Baiano is going to go side by side with the Toyota Supra. He's going to have to go the long way around here, but he's going to get the move done before they even get to the apex. Anderson Baiano moves up to P4. Not the best qualifying from him, but he's able to make it up on track. Gonna go nose to tail throughout this section here. Behind him is Danny Nasir. Martin Webster 12 seconds off. He had made a mistake early on. And the BMW gonna try to hold off, but there you can see the weight at the bottom. 4 restrictor blade, 12 kilograms of weight. But Marlon Young very much gonna be on the attack around here. Gonna try to close up. Now, this right here, top 5 gets flipped on its head for the reverse grid. So that means if you finish in 5th, you start on provisional pole. But at this point, points are on the line. It's very crucial to get as much points as possible as we head into this grand finale here. And it was a good run from Marlon Young on corner exit. Meanwhile, we look back up to the front 2 here, P2 and P3. And then you can see Andy trying to make his car as wide as possible. Van Doorn loves Sportsland SUGO. He's a previous winner here in the GT3 Challenge Championship just 2 years ago. Martin Webster gonna enter pits early on, gonna get an early stop under his belt. Remember, last time he was able to make that one work. It was back at the DTM World Championships at the Nurburgring. He was able to make that one work perfectly. But as the leader checks out, and Baiano starting to, Andy Rees and Van Doorn building a gap between each other. Ooh, Jaden Harrison now entering into the session. That's interesting. He is a little bit late, but he can still jump in. He's loading into the session, and he can take some sweet points off of the drivers. So Jaden Harrison able to wheel his car in, probably had a late flight to get here in Japan. But meanwhile, what a fight this has been. We're gonna take a look at our audio levels, making sure everything is good on the stream side. At the Nurburgring, he was able to make that one work. So perfect, everything is good to go. And take a look at that. 125.4 as you see Andy diving down the inside. It was so aggressive. Lands both drivers off the track, and Van Doorn's gonna get right back through. He would have had to give him the position back anyways, but Andy Rees threw a massive dive on the inside of Van Doorn. You heard the radio there. Jesus. Just caught him.
Ambitious.
Ambitious indeed, but this is a championship fight coming down to the wire. My goodness, what a fight it has been for these two drivers here. This is incredible. Incredible stuff from these drivers. Meanwhile, there we also see this battle for 4th place. The Toyota Supra against the BMW M4. Danny Nasir in the McLaren, just a little far behind, not too far. But there you see how aggressive, more comfortable Marlon Young is being on the curbs around the circuit, able to put the gap down to 3/10. Closing and gaining. He's trying to get the move done, but as they get onto the straight now, it's unable to. We look back on our front pack here. Andy Rees unable to make any sort of a move coming up this straight here. And Marlon Young is a little too far back to make a move on the front. of the BMW there. But there you see the Mercedes still working hard, trying to close it up. Into the lefts and rights. Keeping it tidied up there. We're about to hit the 15-minute mark of this race in 44 seconds. And we would have already had 10 minutes of racing already gone. Too much curb, though, from Andy Rees. That's going to cost some time. Onto the back straight once more. 5 you guys watching the stream, thank you so much for tuning in. We do have Jaden Harrison now entering the fray. He is racing on track at the moment. There you see him in the other Mercedes in this championship fight, but currently sitting 8th position. So reverse grid, that's going to be really where he's going to be able to gain some points here. Double points on the line. Trouble for Danny, though. Lands him off the racing circuit. Gets overtaken by Webster, but not for a position. Webster is down a lap. Mats, 1:24.612. So great racing from these drivers here. Incredible action all around the circuit here. SUGO never disappoints, that's for sure. And take a look at this now. Marlon Young has started to close the gap up between himself and Anderson Baiano. Danny Nasir, Jaden Harrison entering in the pits for their mandatory pit stops. Meanwhile, back on board with the Toyota Supra. Into the chicane. Meanwhile, Andy's losing a bit of touch. A second now between them. Meanwhile, Marlon Young starting to push harder throughout this section of the circuit. On the back straight now. But remember, tires are going to eat these drivers up. And I think we're seeing an example of what happens when you are in the dirty air permanently. And the Mercedes is really suffering. Look how wide it goes into the gravel. Cannot lose any opportunity of losing Van Dorn. What do you do if you're Andy Rees? You come in for an early pit stop, try to attempt the undercut. We watch him now. Does he attempt a pit stop? Maybe. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Slamming onto the brakes. In for his pit stop. Here comes Andy Rees with an undercut strategy to see if he can gain on the front pack. And a quick pit stop for him. These guys are on F1.
I guess he didn't put tire change.
Oh no!
Woo. 2-star bird.
If you were still able to enter the pits, you could set your strategy and reverse into your box again. Yeah, it was most likely from the restart. So that is huge. Andy Rees needs to make another pit stop.
Went black for a second.
And Van Dorn also having issues of his own. So 2 of our championship contenders both having issues. Andy Rees needs to make another pit stop for tires. That is huge. Will it take him out the championship fight if he finishes 3rd behind his opponent here, mainly Van Dorn? That'll really be the test. But as for Andy Rees, that is huge. He is currently, he's overtaken Martin Webster. And Van Dorn is going to enter the pits now as he got tires ready to go for his pit crew. That is crazy. So, the tires were not ready. We're going to find out, is Van Dorn good? Looks like he is. And take a look at behind us there. Marlon Young, Anderson Baiano are going to have a fight on their hands. Coming in for their stop. Oh, it's Anderson having trouble, having to reverse back into his pit box. It looks like he's got it going now. Was he able to get his pit stop fully done? Marlon Young also into the pits. Pit lane is very busy out here. And Van Dorn. Oh, and he's had trouble there. Pit exit. Anderson Baiano having trouble. And then Van Dorn having to avoid there. Just about. And here comes Andy Rees, now coming out, completed his pit stop, but take a look at this. Anderson Baiano, as he sits in P7, interestingly. That's curious. I do not know what happened there. Meanwhile, our championship leader into the pits. I believe it may have just put Baiano a lap down, but we'll find out in a couple moments. But because of that spin, I wonder if it just dropped him a lap. But he touched the grass onto the outside. It did not help his case. Meanwhile, Van Doorn's pushing with fresh tires now, and Mads is going to come out to a fresh track. Not going to have to worry. And Martin Webster's coming in once again for another pit stop. So he's going to come in, make his pit stop here. Marlon Young in the podium here. Remember something. Marlon Young, Jaden Harrison, Andy Rees, Mike Van Doorn, all within a championship fight. And as it stands right now, while Van Doorn is winning, he's currently at 79 points. Oh, as Marlon Young goes deep. And Anderson Baiano coming in once again. So it doesn't look like he was able to get his pit stop complete. He had to come around again. But Van Doorn, 79 points. Andy Rees with 70. Jaden with 55. Marlon with 45. And so now it comes the point of no return. After you make your pit stops and you're by yourself, it's really all about keeping consistent. Andy Rees has about 6.7 seconds to catch up to Marlon Young in about 9 minutes time. So this is your battle that's going to have to commence here. And we're going to find out who is the quicker out the two. Is Andy even able to catch up to the Toyota Supra to recover this race? That's the big question here. Remember, this championship fight far from over. Remember, second race, if Van Doorn doesn't finish well, finishes poorly in race 2, well, we'll find out. Van Doorn across the line with a 125.199. And we're gonna watch now. Here we go. So here comes Marlon Young across the line, and that's gonna be a 128. So 3 seconds off, and Andy Rees now going to come across with a 125.2. So, game on. It's going to be Andy Rees against Marlon Young once again. Round up the tapes, because our most viral moment of last week's race was the final battle between Andy Rees and Marlon Young for the podium, and it's about to happen again. This time, the roles are reversed. It's now Marlon Young has turned in to the hunted, and we're gonna see what the Mercedes can do at the Nurburgring. Andy was not able to get it done. Time was too late for him, but this time he's making some great progress. Look at the gap already closing up. 5 seconds on the mark. So crucial to see what transpires. And there we watch Marlon Young. Who's the lighter car? It's Marlon. Marlon in the Toyota Supra. He's in 5th in the Drivers' Championship. As we have this race continue to flourish, we're going to have our active calculations. And we're going to figure out what the championship is going to look like come the end of today's round. And Andy Rees' personal best, and the gap has gone down a second. It was at 5 seconds from the back straight. Now on the front straight, it's 4 seconds. So much to go through here as we continue this race. And we're going to see who is going to take the top of this battle between Marlon Young and Andy Rees. And take a look at that. Gap is reduced down to 2.6. 6 minutes left to go and 1 extra lap to do it here at SUGO for the first race of 2. Oh, so crucial to get it right. And Andy Reese in the Mercedes is flying out here. A little bit of curb there. Coming across the line now, Marlon Young is going to put a time down of a 1:27.5. Andy with a 25.3. As it stands, it's clear as day. Then he's going to get past him. The chance is when. But at the same time, it's one thing to catch up, it's another thing to pass. And we saw the battle that Marlon is willing to put up, the defense he's willing to do. And we look at the rear camera of Marlon Young. A little bit wide there on the first right-hander. Into the second. Looks very clean. A little bit wide there. Oh, but lifts. Oh, and he's got him cut through. He's got a drive-through for cutting the track. And
That's sad.
that is huge. That is taking too much of an advantage. Marlon tried to slow down. It wasn't enough. Mads is going to take the fastest lap. Andy Reese is going to get the position no matter what. That is huge. That's what I was saying. Taking too much of the advantage that you get for the cut warning. Marlon Young's dream of a podium is gone just like that. So Marlon, on your screen, it'll let you know how many laps you got left to take it.
It should be 3 laps.
Meanwhile, I think Marlon Young realizes if my race is over, I'm going to make this the best opportunity I can. Hold up Andy. What if Andy makes a mistake on track? Gets too aggressive, heads into the gravel, slows his car down too much to the point where he can come back around. Well, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. That is it. So, and you heard the groan from Van Dorn. He realizes that's my championship rival. Hold him up as much as you can. But unfortunately, that is over. Into the heavy braking zone now and exiting out. 3 minutes left to go. That just stands right now. Danny Nasir does have that provisional pole for race 2. However, Marlon Young, if he pits now and gets behind Danny Nasir, he'll easily be able to take reverse grid pole. So if I was Marlon, I'd gladly just pit now, get this penalty done because you got it before you get disqualified. And hey, I believe he should be able to come out behind Danny Nasir. If not, I'd let Danny through. Take the pole position, let Andy and Van Dorn and Mads fight it all out while I book it into the sunset. It's a painful experience though for Marlon Young, but here comes the McLaren, so it is still gonna be a race on the exit of here. Marlon Young's gonna get the loud pedal on here. Marlon Young has made his drive-through complete. And Danny Nasir, has he caught up in time? He's gonna come around the corner. He's gonna see Marlon Young just ahead of him. So Danny now has 2 minutes to chase down Marlon Young. Once again being hunted. First by the Mercedes, now by a McLaren. 2.6 the gap. But now with a fresh new set of cut tracks, Marlon can afford to push the car a lot more wider than he could. Oh, and I think he has made a mistake. Oh my goodness, he has! Hard into the wall is Marlon Young. He's got the car going once more. Take a look at behind him though. Remember, he's still in a fight for position. Does not want to lose top 5. But that's a huge hit on the wall. Is there damage onto the steering? Maybe heavy front impact. We're gonna take a look how much damage did he receive there? So it looks pretty heavy there on the front. So he's going to be very slow around here. And here we see also Jaden Harrison, Anderson Piano behind him. Meanwhile, though, while Marlon's going to have reverse grid, he's not going to be able to score maximum points with his championship rival soaring ahead of him. That's the last thing that he needed. He's not a lap down, so he's able to stay ahead if he chooses to. That is absolutely insane. As the trees block our way here, there we see Jaden Harrison. Fresh car. He's 2 laps down, actually. He was 4 laps down early on, but as we head on to the final 2 laps to go of this race, we're going to have a close eye on Jaden Harrison. Actually, these 3 drivers, because they've really made an impact together. Marlon's going to have a bit of fun with them because both of them know they're not really fighting for anything. Ooh, but a little bit into the grass there's Jaden Harrison. So Jaden's going to have a little bit of training for himself. Remember, he's a multi-time race winner in this championship. Trying to go around the outside, cannot get it done. He's free to pass Marlon Young if he believes he can get the job done, and he's quicker. So, as it stands right now, as Jaden Harrison's going to let through the BMW. I don't know if he thinks that they are in for a fight for the points. But nonetheless, well, Danny Nasir ahead up the road, 6.8 seconds, and what, now going to be the final lap of the race. Yeah, it's going to be next to impossible. But the final lap is out now. 1 to go for the leader. What a fight this has been. And the championship still undecided. So, very big now. Final lap, though, for these drivers here. Marlon Young, if he stays in 5th position, he will be granted reverse grid pole for the final race of this championship. Let's take a look down our order. There is Mads Krogsgaard on course to get his first race win in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and what a journey it has been for him. Van Dorn's is going to finish in 2nd position. The way it stands, he should be leading the championship. Andy Reese is going to finish 1 place behind him, but a lot of work to do coming into the next race. Danny Nasir, P4, Marlon, P5, but it's this man, Mads Krogsgaard. What a journey it has been for this man here. So many ups and downs in his career, but nonetheless, Mads is gonna come around the final corner here onto the front straight. Add another name to the list because Mads is a race winner here at Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. He is winning race 1 of 2. What a journey it has been. Mads, what a win. As for this man, Mike Van Dorn is gonna pop the champagne bottles maybe a little bit early. He's more than allowed to do so because as it stands, he leads the championship by 2 points going into the finale. Andy Rees is gonna come around the final couple of corners. And is Andy running out of fuel? He might be. And oh no, he does have a gap this time to Danny Nasir, but remember, you gotta look back at Sandown, where Andy did run out of fuel with his battle. He's coasting desperately to the line. Danny Nasir, as he's coming around 110R, it's gonna be a drag race. Can he come across the line, though? Nonetheless, yes, he is. He is gonna finish 3rd position. Danny Nasir, if he did not make that mistake early on, could have got on the podium. But Andy ran out of fuel at the line. That's your top 3. But Mads takes the race win.
Marlon, I think you wanted pool, eh?
Pardon me?
I think you wanted pole, eh?
No, I tried real bad.
Well, what a fight that was. All right, that was
I thought you made a mistake on pole.
No, lost control.
great racing there. Let's go congratulate our top 3 before we get into the final race. Starting off with our man in 3rd position, Andy Rees. It was a up and down roller coaster for you here today, but you finished this race now in 3rd position. Andy, do we have you on the mic?
Yes.
So take us through that one. That may have been a bit of a painful one to go through. Take us through it nonetheless. How was that one?
Well, yeah, I haven't. So I made the mistake of not having a tire change in my pit, apparently, which is not something that's happened before. It had to happen at some point, I guess. But yeah, for the starting laps, you know, racing around with Mike for the start was good. Couldn't quite get up to him most of the time, but yeah, then I decided to go for some kind of undercut or something, and yeah, that's where the pit happened without the tire change. So then I went for another pit.
We'll let you know what we missed after the interviews there tomorrow.
Although I could have just reversed in my box, but I didn't know that. Now I know. So yeah.
Well, now heading into the final race. It's all about scoring maximum points. So where's your head at, and what's the first thing that comes into your mind as you get into this final race?
Well, the goal will, of course, be Mike. I'm not sure what happened with Marlon this race. I don't think his pace was what it usually is. So yeah, but I'll be looking out for him as well, of course. But yeah, just gonna try to do my best out there.
Congratulations, good luck in the race 2. Mike Van Doorn, you finish in 2nd position. And by my calculations, as it stands right now, you are leading the championship by 2 points. So, what a race that was for you. How was it? Take us through it.
I mean, yeah, that's the best I could have got out of this, really. Yeah, nothing I could do to keep up with Mads with his straight line speed. So, just have to optimize what I can with this car, with the current BOP. Yeah, just got lucky. I got very lucky with Andy making that mistake with his pit stop, since my screen kind of went black on my in-lap and I lost around 2 to 3 seconds because of that. So yeah, I got very lucky with that, so hopefully that doesn't happen in the 2nd race.
Well, let's get your headspace in. You're now leading the championship, but you're going to be starting behind your championship rival. What's the game plan?
I mean, yeah, I just gotta stay out of any incidents and just try to stay as close behind him as I can if I cannot pass him. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't have to get past, I just need to stay right behind him.
Best of luck to you in the final race. Good luck, man. And P1, congratulations, Mads. You enter now the winners list. Congratulations, first win on the board. How was that race for you, man?
I mean, you forgot again that I won before, so it's my 2nd.
Have you? Is your 2nd race? It was your 1st and 2nd race on the top of my head. But nonetheless, though, Mads, incredible effort, such a dominant fashion from you. Take us through it.
Obviously, the first start completely fucked up my rev, so I didn't have any speed going into the first corner, and then whatever. And then the second one was a bit better, and like Mike said, a bit better straight line speed until the first corner, and then just managing my pace from there on.
Well,
bit lonely, but that's okay.
Race 2, what's on your mind here? You're the lightest car in the top 5, so what are you thinking?
Try to get past Mike and Andy, and then see where it goes from there.
Cannot wait to see what you can do. Congratulations on that P1, and good luck for race 2.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it here. We will see you for the final race. Thank you so much for tuning into race 1 of 2.